Hello, 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 people. I hope that everyone is fine. It is Lizzabitty. Checking in on the check-in, okay? I got me some tea over here. Uh-oh. I'm trying to make sure that my setup here is like, okay, I got so much crap over here. Come on in. Tell us where you're from if you are new to the stream. Hello, Angie. How are you? What's cracking? What's going on? I have some nice cinnamon tea here. Before we get started, if you have not hey, my bro. Hey. Check this out. This was for the lurkers, okay? So you should start to get ready for this. 20 seconds. Let's go. Wait a minute, what did I do? Wait. Okay, here I am. Oh, I know it. I forgot to do something. I gotta fix that. Dag nabbit. I messed up something. I was trying to do something different. Dang nabbit. I messed it up. Hello. Blessing, I mean. Today is about, yes. How are you? You know, sorry. So we're going to get right into it. We're almost 5 minutes in, so we're going to get right into it. As you can see on your screen, this is a Q&A stream. And the stream says, want to know about me? Let's chat. We'll answer just about anything, okay? Just about anything, all right? So go ahead and pose your questions, okay? Pose your questions. Now, remember, I said on the thumbnail, just about anything. I got to fix this thing. So let me go in here and you still on the east side? Okay. You still on the east side. Let me put my Duma Flachi up here. Good deal. Okay, so let's get these questions. I'm waiting and ready for the questions. I got 3 lights here, and it just seems like they are just not doing anything. I don't know. It's like I'm darker. Like, okay, I don't know what's going on here. Let me see. Maybe I do it that way. Maybe I'll try that. I think it makes it brighter. Yeah, let me try that for a minute. It means I have to hold it. You know I'm special. Let me turn the microphone up, bring it up some. Okay. Let's get these questions going. I'm waiting. I am waiting. And if you do not follow our social media, let me click on that real quick, and you can see it's Lizzabitty in your frame on all platforms. All right. Thank you. Let's go. Let me come over to the comments and see what's happening here. Let's see. Hello, Exodus. How are you? How are you doing? I'm waiting on the questions. We're 6 minutes in. No questions? Okay. I'm just going to sip my cinnamon tea. I got some cinnamon tea here. It's so good. Now, for those of you who are watching, if you have not followed my brother's channel, Exodus 876, please go and do so. He gives some good nuggets in record time. In record time. He gets right to the point. You know, if you were a politician, people would love you because you wouldn't be full with all this extra fluff. You would just be getting right into it. Boom. This is how it's going to be. This is what I'm doing. Blah, blah, blah. Any questions? Hilarious. Yes. You know, you get into it real quick. Real quick. Okay. So, XDMC, you don't have any questions? Oh, my goodness. Come on now. I mean, okay. So in all transparency, I mean, we talk behind the scenes, so likely he doesn't have a boatload of questions. Okay. But anyone else here? I thought this was going to be a fun live. Nobody has any questions. And yes, he is, Angie. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he does. And again, in record time, boom. Just like this. Just like this. I mean, he waits no time. All right, so here we go. We got our first question. Okay, no, blind guy, his wife, the light says I was reminded to click no. Okay, yes. Okay, so here we go. XDMC says, are you in Ghana? Are you still back and forth to Dubai? Yes, I am currently in Dubai at the moment. I will be back in Ghana soon. I will never reveal my date on a public platform. But yes. Okay, so here we go. Blind guy, his wife, that life says, my quotation is, what's in the cinnamon tea? It's cinnamon tea with raw honey. Cinnamon tea with raw honey. Now, if I had some of my regular cocktail, some cervezas, I'd have it in a different glass or I'd have it in a bottle. I know I'm hilarious. Hilarious. Okay. So, I mean, I don't know. I see you lurkers, you people who are lurking. While and whilst you are lurking, go ahead and drop down in the comments and give us whatever questions you would like to give us. Okay? Give it to us. Let's see. Ghana is a spot. Have you considered where else? Because I know you have been to some spot. Yes. Actually, I am. I am considering some other spots just to have, let's say, an apartment there, and then I can travel and go sit over there for a week and come on back. So yes, I have. So his question, I'll put Exodus' question on the screen, was basically if I was considering other spots outside of Ghana. I've considered other spots and looking into that as well. So yes, I am. Okay, so I see why do foreigners always have to purchase round trip tickets to come to the continent? So typically, I'm only going to give you the answer that I know for myself. Okay. No matter where I've traveled, it's not only on the continent of Alkebulan. They want to make sure that you go back from whence you come if you are a tourist. That's why. They don't want you coming to be like what they call a ward. So that's why. Even here, if you came here to the UAE and you did not have a return ticket, they would not allow you in. They would not allow you in. Even though the recipients of their, I guess their government benefits, you can only be an Emirati for that. So I don't know what, but that's just how they are. Most nations are that way. So it's not just only the continent, FYI, okay? All right, here we go. Stephen says, when was your plan for Ghana when it's come to helping the School of the Deaf? By the way, Greenfield. Hey, Stephen, I think what you're asking me is, how did I come about in wanting to work with the deaf in Ghana? Because that is my area of expertise. I used to be a school teacher, and my specialty was deaf education. Okay. Now, I have been trained to work with the visually impaired as well, using the Tadoma method, but that's for people who are deaf blind. So that's how that came about. I've always signed. I have a lot of deaf friends. I've always signed. I've never lost that skill. I learned to sign as a child. And so, yeah, we had some neighbors who were deaf, and I was so fascinated as a kid by these neighbors who were signing. I told my mother, go over there and find out what those people are doing because I want to know. And of course, she told me to stop being in people's business. She was not going over there, but I, of course, being a pestilent child, I kept nagging her about it. And of course, that's how it came about. So I ended up taking like classes at the American Red Cross. This is back in the day when the American Red Cross used to be about something. They are not about anything today. So if you are one of these folks who are watching and you have given your money to them, don't give them another cent, red nickel. Keep your money. Do your own humanitarian efforts, okay? Of your own name, of your own volition. Stop putting your money into these organizations, okay? Because a lot of these organizations do nothing but a bunch of fraud. Yep, and they're not helping people. But that's how I got started with it, Stephen. Thank you. Hello, Mr. Untouchable. How are you? How are you? Okay, Exit says, what's brethren bless up? Okay, I think you're talking to Mr. Untouchable. Shoot you not? What do you mean? What do you mean, Exodus? Okay. Blessing Amin says, do foreigners advise not to bring? I don't understand your question, Amin. Oh, you've redone it down here. So let me go back down here. Okay. Do foreigners advise not to bring their own Western lifestyle to Africa since Africa have their own lifestyle? So this is a very controversial question, but here goes. See, you have to think, and it may be hard for you to think outside of Ghana if you haven't been elsewhere but Ghana. But us in the West and anywhere else, even other continental Africans, you have continental Africans in Cameroon, Nigeria, Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, in Togo, etc., etc., etc. They have their own cultures within themselves, okay? They do things a little bit differently, even though you all share the same landmass. So for us as well, those coming from the diaspora, we have our own culture as well. Now, granted, there are some things within that culture, just like there's things in your culture that people need to relinquish because they are not for the good of the people. But no one wants to address that issue. There are things in your culture that are not good for the people, but you all still do them. There are things in my culture that are not good for the people, but we still do them. So one thing about traveling, if you are an open-minded person, it allows you to see a lot of idiosyncrasies and flaws within your own person that you likely would never have seen before. Okay? So that's why. But I suggest people, when they do come to the continent, that they need to try to adapt some of the lifestyles, some of the culture practices that are wherever they are repatting to, because that's important. I'll give you an example. Not sitting around foreigners all the time when you're in these countries. How are you going to learn the language if all you are doing is sitting around Americans or people from the Europe or the UK, etc., Canada? You're not. So you need to get, just as my brother Exodus 876 said, because he mentioned this in one of his videos before, and he said this previously as well. You need to get your own local tribe, people you can trust that can help you. And banding with a lot of people who are the same from where you come from, that is not going to help you if you are trying to settle into a new land that you really are unfamiliar with. Because even if you've made all these treks, it is still unfamiliar territory to you. You know why? Because you were not born there. You were not raised there. So it's still foreign to you. So that's the best way I can answer that. All right. I got to go back up because I see Blind Guy, his wife, they had a question here. Okay. I won't disclose what's in my mug, but how long would you say a first visit to Ghana should be? A month would be great. If you could do a month each time, that would be great. Totally. You know, I'll say, like, when I was in graduate school and stuff, when I would take like vacations with my classmates and friends from undergrad and stuff, we would go places like for a week and 2 weeks. But I really can't say I know a lot about those cultures for those short periods of time. Now, I recognize that people's lifestyles are different and they can't go and stay like as long as I stayed, like even on this past visit. I mean, I was there for 2 months. So it's something, if you can work your plan where you can stay longer, stay longer. Because what you will see, and my brother's in here, I have to keep saying it. You will see things, and I said it in my last video. There will be things that you see differently each visit that you probably didn't see before. And so it also helps you to discern, can I really be here? Can I not be here? That kind of thing. Is this really, excuse me, is this really for me? Etc. So there you go. All right. Mr. Untouchable says, do you have to cover up in the UAE countries as a non-Muslim? No, I don't, but I am not disrespectful. I am not disrespectful. Now, even though I don't believe in organized religion of any kind, no, I'm not going out like some of the ladies here who are from Russia. Because see, they looking for a mark. You got me, bro. They looking for a mark, okay? So they putting, their grocery store on display. Okay? They got an end cap going on. They got an end cap going on. So, but I will say this. In Sharjah, there are 7 emirates. Sharjah is the most religious of the emirates. In Sharjah, you cannot purchase alcohol. They don't sell alcohol in any hotels anywhere. You have to go out and then bring it back in. And hopefully you don't get caught or stopped by the Sharjah police and then they confiscate it. So that's one thing. But Sharjah is the most religious of all of the emirates. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got my bro here. He says, as women, how has it felt in Ghana as people tell me you need a man to move, but I tell them never noticed that. Since I haven't I'm vested there heavy, but since I have not planted my physical being there full time, I'm going to give you my experience the last time I lived on the continent. There are a lot of cultural things that we as Western women take for granted. Okay. And some of those cultural things is a lot of times making certain transactions. They want a male presence there. It's just how it is. I don't care how much money you got. It is what it is. That doesn't bother me at all. It may bother someone else who is not willing to, again, as I talked about culture with the last, with Blessing Amin's question, that may cause you to have some difficulties, especially if you're trying to transact things for business, banking, just purchase large cash dollar purchases or large cash CD purchases. So you got to be mindful of that. You got to be mindful of the culture that you sit in to really maneuver. Now, since I have been vested in doing what I'm doing in Ghana, yes, I've had males to be with me to do certain things. Take your time, watch yourself. And again, find you a tribe that you can trust. Okay? All right, so here we go. Mr. Untouchable says, blessing Africa is more Western than anywhere. What you want to ruling like Donald Trump? That's true, but blessing is a Muslim. Okay, Exodus says only buy one-way tickets, one there and one back ends up cheaper. That is true. That is true because a one-way ticket can be expensive. That is true. Good nugget. Good nugget. Okay, Exodus says, which country have you been to is as far from the West as possible? Oh, wow. When you say from the West, do you specifically mean like America or just, that could be a loaded question. That could be a loaded question. Okay, so I'll answer that this way. At times, there are places that I've been to that look, I'll give you an example. Like, I've been to New Zealand. And when you get into New Zealand, it looks very, what we call industrialized. But there's parts of it that is very, very rural. And you're like, dang, am I still in the same place? And there's countries on the continent of Archipelago in the same way. You can see stuff like that as well in like South Africa, in Namibia, pretty much in a lot of the countries. Because especially if you go to villages and stuff, these people, they are not concerned about what we're doing. They are not. I love that. I love that. I love that. I love how they are so disconnected from like the crap that we do. I like that. It keeps the authenticity of the culture, because at some point, if they are not replicating, then that culture will be lost. So if they continue to have children, they can keep the culture going in that manner. You know, it's funny, like some of the continental Africans that I know, a lot of them talk about how their families, because a lot of them are educated, formally educated, and they'll say how their families didn't want them farming. But now they're my age and they're like, listen, they're like, you need to get into farming. Okay, so why you didn't have me farming when I was a kid? We had all this land around, and now you've done me a disservice because you could have been teaching me all of the tools of farming, etc., but you didn't because you didn't think that I should be farming. You see how that works? But a lot of that too goes to the perpetuated propaganda, of course. All right. Okay, so somebody says, hello, how are you? Okay, so Exodus says also, what would you say is the hardest thing to get used to in Ghana, or as broad as a woman? Let me see. The hardest thing? Wow. I'm gonna be very transparent with you. The Christianity thumping. I find it sickening. I really, really do. I find it very sickening. Now, granted this, I don't want to be disrespectful and just ridicule everyone that practices some form of organized religion. But the minute I pose the question is to name for me in the last 20 years significant doctrines and changes that your religion has done on earth, nobody, regardless of what they practice, can tell me. But what I find is it's like it's being browbeated. Like, oh my goodness, it reminds me like when I was a kid and I would be asking all of these questions either to my mother, my father, and I'm just not getting anywhere. But it was, you just keep doing as I say, because it was everywhere, you know. So that's one of the struggles. I'd say one of the biggest ones. But you know, I'm tough and resilient. So it's not a lot that really, I guess, bothers me per se in that way. So I'm a little bit different. I'm a little bit different. Sometimes I'll say, depending on what I'm doing, another one could be bureaucracy. Because of, and it's the same in the States as well. Just a lot of red tape for stuff that doesn't need to have red tape. Like a lot of systems could be streamlined just like that, but they don't streamline them. I'll be honest with you, being here in the UAE, the systems, I've never been anywhere where the systems run so smoothly. I'm gonna give you an example. When the 2020 19 mess happened, the government here immediately created an app, like in a matter of 2 days, to do outside permits. 2 days. So if you want to go to the grocery store, you open up the app on your phone, type all your information in, and they would give you a permit within a certain amount of time to go to the store and come back. But they did that in 2 days. The efficiency, just boom, so fast. And you're like, how did they do that so fast? So fast. All right. Okay. Hey, how are you, my darling? Okay, excellent. Do you agree with going off the tourist path to see the real of the nation, or is no? So I'm gonna be honest here, and this is gonna shock even the replay viewers. So, like most of the countries that I have been to, I have not been to these tourist spots. That's not my Jewish, because I like to be with the people. I want to see what the people are doing and how they're doing it. So I like to go off on the beating paths to see what is happening. So yeah, I don't really do these tourists. No, I can't say I've been to, no. Now I've been to some places, but that's not my thing. Like all the places I went to when I was traveling in South America, because I was with a bunch of men, a lot of them wanted to hit several of these tourist spots. I only hit these spots because I was with them. If I had been traveling alone, I would have, my good Judy, yeah, because she doesn't do the tourist sites as well. So all the spots a lot of the spots that I hit that were like what you would consider tourist spots, I only hit those because I was with somebody else like that. But that's not my big thing, if that makes sense. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Blind guy, his wife, their life says, we're transitioning a lot of things to digital and understand Akosombo is a region of Ghana with great infrastructure for power and internet. One time, it's not an area that I frequent. It's not an area that I frequent. But Akosombo is like, so they still do have, outages at times when the government is trying to work on their grids and stuff. They still have some of the same issues that others have. Just so you know, FYI. Hello, Nicole. Hello, Nicole. Okay, and so Amin says, we're going to African countries. Which African countries do you like so far? And what traditional food do you taste and like? And the people you meet, how nice are they to you? I like all the African countries I've been to. You have to be more specific because I don't play that game. You got to be more specific about what a person would be looking for in a certain particular place. You know what I'm saying? As far as traditional food, in Ghana, my favorite food is okra stew. In Senegal, my favorite food is jollof rice. Even though I do eat a lot of jollof rice in Ghana, my favorite food in Senegal is jollof rice. I'm just saying. Yeah. If I was in Kenya, they got some good hamburger spots in Kenya. I love a good hamburger. Oh, yes, I do. But what traditional food do I really like of theirs? I can't really recall it. Um, in Zanzibar, I like the grills. Same in Tanzania. In Nigeria, I would say, of course, there's. It's not necessarily food, but a drink. I like sobolo. I do like egusi soup, but I don't like my egusi soup. My stuff has to be fixed a certain way. I'm real funny about food. You know this, Amin. I don't like mine with fish in it. If you put that in there, I'm not going to eat it. I don't care how fabulous you say it is. I'm not going to eat it. So, um, and were the people that met, the people that I met, are they nice to you? Sure. Now, I'm not going to share the entire story, but I'm going to tell you a story about an encounter I had with a young Ghanaian man on this last visit. I had to put him down like a horse. Um, for you, the people who don't really know me intimately, the ones that do know that my mouth is lethal. I have the strength to annihilate somebody with my mouth. So, this particular gentleman, they were being rude, etc., 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 and I had to put him down. He got put down. He got put down. So, yeah. All right. Okay, and so Amin says, "What do you like and dislike about gun autonomy?" I kind of talked about the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy. That's pretty much it. Yeah. Okay. Man, where you been, James Earl Mones? Hey. James says, "What nation in Africa that you visited has the best infrastructure?" South Africa. South Africa. I've said on this channel, and you may have been here on one of these streams before. I've said on this channel, if someone wants the equivalent of the lifestyle they have in the States, but they want to leave the States and come onto the continent, if they want the equivalent, they need to go to South Africa. They need to go to South Africa. Yep. Okay, Blind got his wife, their life says, speaking of efficiency, what have been some of your favorite efficiencies in various African countries that the Western nations don't have? Oh my goodness. The food supply. And how, like, you can still go to, like, butchers, like how, so when I used to go down to the country to visit, family, friends, and stuff, and you still had some of those old school butchers to get like fresh meat and stuff, they still have that. They still have that. You know what's interesting? It's funny that you say this, because a lot of this stuff that you will see is a lot of things that what we call in the West lost, like lost trades and lost history, lost jobs and stuff. Because of the fact of how they are still developing nations, they still have a lot of the nostalgia that you would hear like your grandparents talking about. And it is so amazing. It is so amazing. And people still, like, some people complain about it, but child, look at my face. Okay. Some people complain about it, but it doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. The only thing that starts to bother me, if I'm a foodie, I like to eat. I like to eat. If I can't eat, girl, I start to get cranky. However, I like to drink beer too. So so if I can't eat, I would prefer to have some beer then. So you're gonna have to give me either or. I'm either gonna have to have some beer, you're gonna give me some food. Yeah. So let's see some more questions here. Hello, darling. How are you doing? Yes, you did. I am so happy. So happy you here. Yes, James. In which you will also notice too, even in like Namibia, Botswana, and Gabon, they are built up. They don't have the population size like South Africa, but South Africa is just like if you was going to be at home. Yep, just like if you were going to be at home, meaning America, America. All right, Exodus says, when are you fully gone for good? Will you purchase a car or continue to? No, 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 no. I'm buying a Toyota Tundra with towing capabilities. I have some trailers, and I need to be able to pull my trailers. So I need a 4x4. So I will be purchasing a vehicle. And it's funny because when I was telling people that, they were like, "You're going to be driving?" Yes, I drive. Like, what are you talking about? Yes, I'm driving. I'm driving. Yes, I'm going to be driving. I'm going to be hitching my trailers. Now, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be hitching my trailers onto my pickup truck. Yep. Mm-hmm. And there it is. Amin says, Myers, how long are you living in UAE and how do you like it? And when are you saying goodbye there? I would never give you my exact date when I'm saying goodbye there. How long are you living in? I have been living here since 2019. And there are some pluses to things that I like here. I mentioned a few of those earlier. Mm-hmm. Kwame says, hello, I'm fine, thank you. I'm fine. We're just asking questions. Ask me anything. I'll answer just about anything. Just about. Hello, the savvy entrepreneur. Hello. Okay, Kwame says, I have been to Ghana 4 times and I'm hoping to go to Ghana. This will be try and travel to more of the countries. Yes, definitely. So you can see the differences of the different continental Africans and how they do things. Some things you'll find similar and other things you will find unique and different. Yeah, totally. Yes, but I'm buying mine in Ghana. I'm not going to pay the imports fees and all that stuff. I'm going to buy my stuff in Ghana. I'm not going to be buying and shipping, and that ain't nothing but another headache. Oh, yes, mine too. Yes. Exodus says, would you consider? I am. Mm-hmm. I am. I want to do all kinds of things. Like I have some property someplace. I'm thinking about putting some rubber trees on that. You already know what goes on with that. But some other stuff, like I want to have like a small little area on wherever I actually finally decide to build my primary residence and have some stuff that I can grow out there. Like, I love passion fruit. Passion fruit is my most favorite fruit of all fruits on the earth. I love passion fruit. And when I shop here to get passion fruit, I make sure that they come from Rwanda. Their passion fruits are so good and so sweet. Woo! Yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Okay. Has a lot. I don't get what you're saying here, Kwame. I don't get what you're saying. Come to the north so that we can farm together. Anyway, tell Uncle I said, what up? Tell Uncle I said, hey, what's up? Yeah, honey. But the Rwandan passion fruits, those jokers. Oh my goodness. I've tried the passion fruits from Kenya. You can buy them here as well. I specifically, because I think I told you I suffer from IBS. I really try to look for the fruits that come from Alkebulan because I have a lot of digestive issues, and so I had a nightmare earlier this morning. Like I didn't really get any sleep this morning. I was pretty much up all night, but yeah. Okay, let's see. Exodus says, do you believe in consults helping people, or should people see the? I think it's a little bit of both, and I'll tell you why. Because even if a person has been made a revolt, but they would have to be, unless they have been strategic exodus and getting their tribe set up like you always talk about, it's likely they wouldn't need any consults. However, if they have not been strategic on all of their visits, getting that local tribe together so they can learn about the nuances and how things are done, etc., they're going to need some. They definitely will need some as it pertains to this too as well. Because we are so unique, especially, so let's say just in terms of education in your tribe who has that you've connected with there and wherever you're moving to, maybe they don't have the same ideology about educating of young children that, let's say, you and your wife have. Okay. And so when you are asking them different things about that, since you all don't see eye to eye about that, it's likely that they will not possibly give you the best information that you would need. Whereas if it was someone else, depending on their expertise, knowing the lay of the land, let's say in that particular country, that could likely help them out based on how you and your wife decide how to educate your children. So I think it's going to really depend on the person and how they have moved on their own trajectory to be strategic about these visits. Remember, you asked me earlier about the tourist stuff. See, I don't do that stuff. But most of the people who do, they're going to be going to this stuff. You know what so for me, I'm all about the connections. I want the connections with the people. And so because I have not did all this touristy stuff, most people will look at me very, very strange. Like, how you go to this place and you haven't been here? You haven't been here. Well, I could say, well, how did you go to this place and you don't have your ID? See? So I think that it's going to be like on an individual basis to determine if it's good or not. Because I would be just for myself, like the last video I did. If someone, like, I got some emails, I need to check my email. I'm so sorry, you guys. I'm going to be able to immediately tell if you were with the shits. And I'm going to be honest with you. You probably need to sit your behind back. Stay at home a little bit longer until you get yourself together. And have you been in therapy? Because you all know I talk about that. Have you been in therapy so that you can release some of that mess that comes from the West? Release the mess that comes from the West. And so I think if people are authentic Exodus, they definitely would be able to be honest with the people who are doing that. So I know that was long-winded, but there you go. There you go. Blank, his wife said, learning the culture before we travel anywhere has always been helped us move easier. Totally. Yes, Volta is trying. So I have an airway brother. Actually, he's here. And he is involved heavy into building up the tourism in the Volta region. As you know, Ho has that new airport. And so, yeah, popping. Thank you, my darling. Kwame says, why I love a Bree in the Ghana parks, the forest and the hills. Yes, a Bree is beautiful. Beautiful. Amin says, please, since you are on YouTube and also travel around most of the African countries, I would be glad if you can advise some of the diasporas who love to visit. Hey, it's all on my channel. They know what my heart is. Okay, Kwame says, yes. Yeah, they need to get their head right. And see, if you come over here, see, I'm going to be the voice of reason. I'm not going to let you just sit here and just take and not be honest with you. That's not how I'm not with the debauchery. So when I use my level of discernment and see that you are really on some mess, I'm going to tell you that you're on some mess. You might want to sit your behind at home. You might want to sit yourself at home. Hello, Zoo and Shayna. How are you doing? Okay, Blind Guy, his wife, the life says, also please at the t-shirt release the mess of the West. You know, I got some new, listen, some of you folks who have been to Ghana, when you see these new shirts come out, you're going to laugh, okay? You're going to laugh. But yes, release the mess of the West. For real. For real. Okay, I'm just waiting for you. Oh, Kwame says, yes, Addis Ababa, yes, yes, yes. You know, most people, when they go to Ethiopia, they have an awakening. Yeah, which is different from how you envision things when you go to Egypt. It's a different feeling. It's really, really different. Mm-hmm. Release a shirt that says, I got snacks. You know what? Stop. Or I found snacks. You are cutting up. Okay, cutting up. Wait, I think I missed something from okay, here we go. Friend left for the Gambia with $1,500. What amount do you feel in saving with an online job a person will need to start? So that's a very good question. Now this why y'all need to be over on Exodus channel. That is a very good question. I'm going to speak for a single person with no children. Chi. Don't find yourself with no money. I don't care where you are. Now I'm going to tell you a story about what happened to me in Vietnam. Okay. I typically don't eat street food. I know that sounds crazy. It's going to sound real crazy for a person to like to eat. However, when I'm in Ghana, I do eat certain particular street foods, certain ones. This particular day, I wanted to go down here. I was in Saigon. Let me go down here and see about some of this food. I'm going to try to be adventurous when it comes to food, which is rare for me. So while I'm making this trek down to go and look at some of these street foods, I lose my American Express. Okay. I have no money. I had gone through my what I call my mad cash. And if you all send me an email and we have a consult, I'll tell you about what mad cash is. I had already gone through that, which was an error on my part. So I had no cash. My card was gone. I was either staying at the Hilton or the Marriott. I can't remember. And of course, when I get back to the hotel, I'm calling Amex about getting me a car and how soon they can get me a car. Well, they actually got me a car in 18 hours. But that stopped me because of the time of day. I pretty much was confined to my hotel room and just charging on room service and keeping positive vibes in the universe in hopes that my card come like that. Okay? And it did. But you don't want to be caught without any funds. One, anything could happen. Now, so what amount do I feel is beneficial? Let me say this. If you have 50,000 US dollars cash, you're going to live very, very nice. And if you know how to budget properly, that could stretch you in terms of actually starting something, a local business, and paying your rent and having your extra money. But you're going to have to budget properly. Otherwise, you can go through your money like ice water. But you're going to have to budget. $50,000, that's a nice chunk of change. A nice chunk of change. And let me peep you something else about that as well. If you are a person, Maybe you have some health challenges. When I'm on the continent, I don't have any health challenges. That's what's crazy. I'm telling you, this is why I know I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be. I'm supposed to be where I'm supposed to be because my temple, this body, this one body that I have, is healthier when I'm there. I'm sicker when I'm not there. And I've seen this throughout the years that I have been in and out of the continent. And sometimes you are stubborn and then life takes over and you don't listen to what you're supposed to listen to, even though you have your own spirit of discernment. Well, some of us do. Let me say that some of us do. Yeah. But if you are a person that have health challenges, okay, let's say you are an asthmatic. I'm going to use that as you need a little extra in your nest egg just in case. Just in case. Just in case. Everybody needs to have a emergency fund. Now, I'm a single person. I'm going to have $20,000 in my emergency fund. Why? I'm prone to accidents. Now, you are going to laugh at me. Since the time I was 15, you can call me the $6 million woman, and I'll leave it at that. Okay? The $6 million woman. You all remember that show? And the $6 million man. Okay? So, personally, I'm going to have $20,000 for my emergency fund, just in case I break a leg, I break an arm, I stub a toe. Yeah. Because herbs don't fix broken bones. You're going to need to see a professional about the, So there you go. 50,000, you'd be doing good if you're single. Now, if you got a family, a husband, or if you have small children, you need to. I've never budgeted for small children. But my cushion for that would be that much higher just to be safe. Because children are prone to all kinds of things. Things happen, and you have to educate them unless you're going to be homeschooling. Now, if you're going to be homeschooling, that's going to be the buck of your money right there. You saving good money. If you're going to homeschool, you can be safe. You're going to save. Yeah, that basically brings your budget all the way back down if you're going to be homeschooling your children. Because most of the expenses when it comes to children, when you are living anywhere, is their education. Is their education. And these international schools are expensive. They are expensive. And you're going to have to think about what is the trajectory that you want, or your kid, your child wants to do once they leave school. I mean, if your child just say, well, I want to learn how to be a master electrician, well, shoot, you good. You good. But if they tell you that they want to be a surgeon, now what? You got to think about that. You got to think about that. That goes back to that last video talking about being realistic, your whys and what and all of that. So parents have a charge that is a bit more different than somebody like me, because I'm very flighty. I'm very flighty. So that's why I got to have me an apartment somewhere else. Because see, I may want to go over here for a couple months. Let my hair down. So it's kind of hard to gauge them, but once you get that budget together, I could say if it's realistic or not, especially if you're going to homeschool. Now, if you're not going to homeschool, be ready to pay top billing and top dollar. So, yeah. What is Sari? What are you saying? I got snacks. She is cutting up. Hold on. I got to go back up here now. I got to go back up. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh, yes. Okay, so here we go. Savvy entrepreneur and investor. 1,500 is nothing. That's only 1 month, a place where everything is cash and carry. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Rent, food, water, transportation. Totally. You know for yourself, Savvy, is that it depends on how one wants to live. All this depends on how you want to live. So you could talk about, and it's good that Exodus is asking those questions too, because you could talk about if a person wants to live on the low end, a middle, or in high end, because you can live on a high end. Be ready to have your money ready. See, remember, I said this the last time as well. Some of you folks are going to want these lavish lifestyles, but you are not going to want to pay. You got to pay for what you want. I'll give you an example. Right here in this country, right here. I love to brunch because I like to drink my beer, okay? An average brunch here with beer is a little over $100. Yeah. Now, just say, okay, I want to have brunch every Friday. Depends on where I'm going. If I want to go to the Jamaican spot, I probably pay about $125. Everything's relative. So it's going to depend on your taste palette, what you want to do. But I am a chameleon. I can go from here to here. Remember, all I need is beer and food, and I'm pretty much good. Preferably the beer. Okay, so let's see. XDMC says, what advice would you give to repats with health issues being on daily meds? So that's a very good question, XDMC. If you can control that with food and exercise, that's the first thing. Excuse me, would be to wean yourself off of that stuff. Excuse me. Wean yourself off these prescription meds, if possible. Whereas if you're somebody, like I mentioned, a person with asthma, etc., they may not be able to do that. But if it's something that basic diet and exercise can change, let's do that. Now, if you have an issue that requires more attention, that diet and exercise per se could not solve, depending on what it is, look into your local herbs. I'm going to be releasing a series of videos coming up here, and probably I think it's next week, with some local herbs. I went to get some herbs. If you can get sea moss, if you can get moringa, if you can get some black seed oil. Read the indications to see if they can help you. But I would definitely say try to go natural first before all this other stuff, and just to see if it can work for you. But if it can't, and you have a condition that requires you to be on something all the time, that's going to increase your emergency fund budget. $20,000 ain't going to be enough for you. You're going to need a little bit more money. Like I would say, shoot, depending on what you have, another $40,000 or $50,000, because you want to ensure you have a cushion in the event of. You always have to have a contingency plan. We plan for everything else. We plan vacations, blah 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 blah. So we should be planning for that as well. And something to think about with that XDMC is also to make sure that when you are making your subsequent visits, is to ensure that you are looking at, like, let's say, whatever city you're moving to, who has the best healthcare in that city, etc. Yeah. Oh, that's okay. Kwame says, I land on a cry. I was meant to see Tarzan. In fact, yeah, that's because you're watching TV. That's because you're watching TV. Yes, he drops good XDMC. He drops good gems, and he's not long-winded. I'm telling you, he gets right to it. Boom. Hey, have your money together. Hey, here's the catchment. Because I had to go back. I missed the catchment video. I had to go back because we were talking about it earlier. Yeah, he gets right to it. He gets right to the meat and the potatoes. Okay. Yes. Greetings to all. Exodus says, would you consider the expat insurance or buy local private insurance? I will buy local private insurance, me personally. And so And I'm glad he brings this up because this brings up a secondary thing as well. You know how like when you live in the West, we get insurance. Like if you have an apartment, you constantly you consistently get what is it called? Content insurance. I think that's what it's called. If you own a home, you get homeowners insurance, etc. You still if you still need to get that. You still need to get that. That's a thing. Now, some insurances I do consider a racket, but it's still a thing. In the event your house catches on fire, you want to make sure you can get your stuff, get some new stuff. Yes. Yeah, I don't need an expat insurance. I'm going to live out my final days on the continent here. It's really only one thing that would actually stop me. Only one. Is if I perish somewhere else before I get to my final place. Okay. A blind guy, his wife, the life says, I just had someone yesterday adamantly saying Africans are poor. He truly believed it in workable budged regardless of the resources we provided. You know what? You have to tell people, see, don't go back and forth with them. Ask them when they been. When was the last time you been? And then tell them, well, what about Skid Row? What about Washington, D.C.? Child. See, Nope. I don't play them games with these people and that mess. Do you feel it's better to upgrade a school in Africa like Master since it can be cheaper? Yes. It's funny you asked this. My godson, actually, I was telling this story to Go Black to Africa when he was here. My godson wants to go to school in Nigeria. But his mother is just so adamant that no. But that's how the West be tricking you folks. Child. I say go on the continent. You know, hindsight is always 2020. Like even when I got to Malawi, I was like, I could have been over here in school. And it always seemed like to me, Exodus, that the people were, I thought I was smart because, I went to school for free. I thought I was smart. Baby, please. These people were smart. These folks are smarter than me. They are smarter than me. So I think there's an advantage there. I really, really do. I think it could build a deeper character for one. I really, really do. Okay, let's see. Let me go. Let's see. Savvy Entrepreneur says, I like the food and to dress nice, so I'm not doing 1,500. No living in the bush. Okay, is that $1,500 or is that 1,500 Delacies or is that 1,500 CDs? What is that? 1,500. You can live great in East Legon for that. With a nice pad, hitting these restaurants and bars. Yeah. You can do good in Ghana with that. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let's see let's see here. Blind guy, his wife says, yes. Definitely, it all depends on what I'm telling you. You want to go here, mid to high, low, mid to high. Low, mid to high. James Earl Moans laughing at me. He says, what is the best beer that you have? Now somebody's going to come back and listen to the replay and they're going to talk about me like a dog. Tusker out of Kenya. That's the best beer on the continent. I don't care what nobody says. That is the best beer on the continent. Yeah. Tusker. It is so good. Ooh, so good. It's so good. If you're a beer drinker, you would love Tusker. You will love it. So good. Kwame says, man, oh man, I will have jollof with jerk chicken and fried plantains and mineral water. Right. Thank you, Synovia. Yes. Thank you. Let's see here. Even your garlic and ginger can help with it. Yes, definitely. 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 I need to increase my turmeric intake. And a friend of mine, she was telling me about, I'm going to make it's called the golden milk. I need to go to this place tomorrow while I'm out to get some black seed honey. But I'm going to be making that because I need to increase my turmeric intake. But I totally agree. Kwame says lemon ginger is the best remedy recommended. Yes. Yes. Let's see what we got here. Africa for Africans. James Ramon says, a friend of mine invited me to visit Senegal to meet his sister. I asked him, how were we going to get around? He said, I have a Benz. I don't know how you're going to get around. Now that is funny. That is funny. You need to go visit Senegal. There's some chocolate up in that baby. Woo. Let me stop. We need to have a side conversation with the ladies about where all the chocolate is. Colleges in South Africa are affordable too. Our flights there cost more than two. Yes. Uh-oh, did my light go out? Okay. Our flights there cost more than a year's tuition. Yep. That was his complete savings. Oh no. See, that's no. Okay, something's going on with my light here. I don't know what's happening. No. Oh, that's madness. He said he was setting himself up for failure, Exodus. Yeah, that's not sufficient at all. Oh, James Ramon. I used to work with a Kenyan guy, right? He would go home, right? Because you can't get Tusker here. And he would go home. And so, the bottles are heavy. So he used to bring me 2 bottles. The last time he went home, he brought 2 bottles. He said, but Lizzabitty, I can only give you 1 because I'm going to give something to somebody. I said, who? I'm hot, right? Because I was banking on these 2 Tuskers. I was hotter than fish grease. Like, who told you to be going out inviting people to have Tusker? I wasn't too happy about that, okay? Yeah, Tusker's good. If you're a beer drinker, Tusker is the ish. Except I could have did it. I could not have did it either, but seeing the pics, he has not. Really? That is insane. I want to see the pics. You got to make a video. I need to see these pics, Exodus. In Mama Land, there's a lot to see. Yeah, of course. Do you feel more active in Ghana? I felt the need to walk around it. Yes. It's funny you say that. Because, I was saying I don't complain about the heat. Because my vitamin D is, don't even get me started. Totally. Unless it was, let's say, an extreme distance, like going to Pram. But I do. And it's different. It's kind of like, I don't know, what would I call it? Like a longingness to do it. Like a loneliness to do it. But totally. So much. Okay, so AJ says, no, that's not about Africa. I don't know nothing about that man. Oh, and AJ, let me go back. AJ, I don't do politics. That's called trick bagging. Can't trick bag me. Okay, Synovia Ridley. Oh, she's talking to. Okay. Oh, yes, they sure will be, Synovia. That is true. Savvy Entrepreneur says, on the continent everywhere that I have ever been, I had so much to do and never felt tired. This was all, yes, because it is always something to do. It is. But of course, folks are sitting over here watching. Child. Child, don't even. Miss T says, baby, baby. Oh, I need to make a video about that. I need to make a video. Girl. That chocolate girl. Ooh. Blank out his wife said, we would increase our nutrition in the States because we realize that it'll be an easier transition to the high nutrition. Yes. Yes. Pure, etc. All of that good stuff like that. Totally. Totally. Okay, this is why. This light here has gone out. I'm like, why is that's why it's darker in here. My other light went out. All right. Says here, who got the best part of life that I've been? Ooh, no. The best part, let me see. Best parties? I'm gonna have to say Kenya. You're gonna laugh. Kenya and Nigeria, they run a neck and neck. Kenya and Nigeria, they're vying for the top spot. I mean, you can get it in Ghana, but I'm just saying. You asked me, who got some of the best part of life. I mean, for real. Kenyans, baby, they get down. They get down for the crown. And Nigerians too, baby. Oh, yes. Yes. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah, you should check it out. I think I don't know if you saw the video I did with the lady Maya Fall. She's Senegalese. She's getting ready to head back to Senegal permanently. And they just, I like Senegalese food, all that. Oh, that wasn't for me? Oh, okay. Sorry. So he says, Sister Tenova, I'm hoping next year. Yes, be visiting. I'm telling you. And I'm saying, so remember I said, because the best beer on the continent for me has been the Tusker. Okay? The Tusker beer. The Tusker. Okay? So, yeah, I listen here. I loves me some good beer. And that Tusker, ice cold, oh, look, I don't even have to eat. Ooh, but they got some good hamburger spots too. And then you have to get to Lamu off the shores of Mombasa. It's very beautiful over there. It's very beautiful. It's very, very beautiful. Yes. Yeah, I'm not concerned about no politician. They all full of shit. Let's see. From where have you been to anywhere as lush as Kenya, Rwanda, Rwanda. Man, ooh, yeah. Kenya, Rwanda. Kenya is beautiful. Kenya is like I know you've seen all of the like Lord of the Ring movies and all of that. And you know how in those movies they have, like, you see the green rolling hills and rolling lands and just flat green lands. They actually filmed that in New Zealand. Kenya reminds me of that. It's just as lush and green. It's just as lush and green. Kenya got to go on. Yeah. Yeah, you got. It's funny because you were so close there with being in Tanzania. You being so close there, I'm surprised. Yeah. Oh, yes. And remember, Rwanda, because she's so small, but Kenya is huge. Even all that area around Mount Kilimanjaro, Kenya is just lush green, luscious. with an ice cold beer to match. Yes. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Keys got it all. Beer, Tusker too. Hey, I was just talking about Kim. I was just talking about the Tusker beer. That Tusker beer. They don't know what they're missing out on. That Tusker beer, baby. Whoo. My goodness. Okay. My goodness. Tusker beer, eh? Well, we're a little bit over 1 hour. I want to thank you. Time constraints came. Okay. Yeah, because normally people like to do Kenya, Tanzania, and Zanzibar. They'll make it like that. Yeah. Uh-huh. Blank, I hear what I say. I only drink. Oh, no, I don't mess with that. I keep my poison simple. If I'm gonna have some poison, I got to keep my poison simple. I don't want the complex poison. That is funny. Okay, I am going to end the show with over an hour. Thank you guys for your questions. Okay, I have a treat coming up on Friday. Look out for Friday's video. I will put it on a premiere so you can watch it. I think the video tomorrow is finishing up King's interview. But you all have a good day. Okay? You all have a good day. And remember, if you want to talk about you planning your repat and all of that good stuff, I will put my email here here. You can send me an email here. I will check my email today. Don't talk about me too bad and all of that. Yes, wildin', huh? You a mess. You are a mess. I was not. I promise I wasn't. I promise. All right, so we're going to take us out. All right, here we go.